Live from New York City, it's the Wendy Williams Show. Today, it's a hot Monday, and Wendy's breaking down the juiciest hot topics. From Katy Perry's Super Bowl performance to Suge Knight's arrest. And you're going to love the huge discounts on trendy Wendy items perfect for Valentine's Day. Plus, we're kicking off our month-long Grand Fantasy giveaway, where you could win a Walt Disney World vacation. Now, here's Wendy.
Great, let's get started. It's time for Hot Topics. Everybody at home gets annoyed though when we do too much because you're not here, you're there. Tickets are free for you to come here and do it up too. Anyway, I must say it's a snow day in our town, so our son is here. Do any of you all have kids in school that they have the snow day today? We got more snow with this unpredictable snow than we did last week when they were predicting a blizzard. We walked outside in Jersey today, there were already like 10 inches on the ground, and that was 6:30 this morning. God only knows what it looks like now at 5 after 10. Anyway, awful weather, but I'm glad to be here with you all. So, did you watch the Super Bowl? Did you watch the Wives with Knives marathon on the ID channel? Yes, exactly. That's why you're my girl. Uh-huh. So good. Anyway, the New England stole the show at the last minute from the Seattle Seahawks, is what I understand. The score was 28-24. And Tom Brady is now, continues to be an American hero. And what's his name, the black man?
Lynch.
Who?
Marshawn Lynch.
Marshawn Lynch was robbed. That's what they say. All I know is I was looking for Katy Perry. I lost track. At 7:45, I start watching the Super Bowl. I start monitoring. But Wives with Knives marathon started at 4 o'clock, and it went until 2 o'clock in the morning. Only they started repeating them at 10 o'clock at night. That's when you know you're a loser. When you stay long enough with one channel that now the repeat is on. Anyway, I missed her performance. I only saw highlights from it this morning, but I like the thing. She came in on that metal lion. Any show that has a metal lion must be fabulous. And I mean, Katy Perry is who she is. You know, she changed her, first of all, they only let her perform for 12 minutes, but all those Super Bowl performances at halftime, whether it's Bruno Mars, Madonna, or Katy, whoever, they're all 12 minutes. And she apparently did like tear away clothing with quick changes because she changed into her California beach look. I think this is cute. You know, Katy was playing to her core audience, you know, 17-year-old OMG girls. And a smattering of the rest of us who are older but like her music because she makes us feel young. She performed with Missy Elliott. I heard Missy was terrific. Then, of course, friend of the show, Lenny Kravitz, was there. The big finish is the thing that would have probably gotten me scared if I was at the Super Bowl. She flew over the crowd with flames shooting out of her booty. I can't. This just, to me, like, it's cute, the pyrotechnics and all that, but do you realize that that puts everybody in danger? And we've seen enough go on. Ask Siegfried and Roy, ask, you know, Curtis Mayfield, ask many of the artists who've had things go on during their shows that just shouldn't have happened. That would have made me uncomfortable. But congratulations to you, Katy, and thanks for rising to the occasion of not talking bad about Taylor Swift. All weekend, though, it was very busy at the Hunter household. I was distracted by the sad news of Bobby Christina being in the hospital. Whitney Houston's daughter. We'll talk about that more this morning on the Inside Scoop, so make sure that you keep it here. And then People magazine confirmed that Bruce Jenner is, in fact, transitioning into a woman. Well, you know, when Hot Topic says it, you might look at me with a screw face. How dare you? But when People Magazine says it, that's Bible, okay? So, People says that he reportedly has been transitioning slowly so that he can get used to, or the family can get used to the change and they're not so distracted. And that's very nice of him. You know, he started little by little. First, a delicate shave of the Adam's apple, and then weekly manicures, and then he did the pink, and then, you know, a little bit of hair added in, and then a little bit more hair added in, and then the highlights, and that it looks like some lip injections, and a whole, like a softer thing going on. You know, I think that this is terrific, that he is allowed to live his life. They say that everybody in the family supportive of him. I don't believe that for a moment, you know, only because, you know, there are a lot of people in their family, and I bet you everybody is not supportive, but that's the great thing about family. We don't necessarily have to support each other inside the house, but outside the house, we must put on a united front. Do you understand? Now, in the house, they might be fighting like cats and dogs with Bruce, making people feel awkward. But what they show us here is, this is a recent picture. They show us a united front. And apparently, E! Entertainment has listened to what I was saying regarding the upcoming reality show. Remember I was telling you that Bruce and his sons were gonna do a reality show, and you were all clapping because, you know, you thought this is him transitioning into a woman. Only the announcement wasn't made at that time, so I said transitioning into something. Well, I told E! Entertainment and Bruce, please don't do this show. They wanted to base it on, you know, Bruce is adventurous. He's the one who likes to, you know, ride, you know, on the wing of a plane with one foot in the air. You know, always, you know, with the zip lining and all that stuff. Nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see that from the rest of the family, much less Bruce, who's got so many more interesting things we'd rather see. So they've scrapped this whole adventure show, and they're gonna do the show that we want, which is Bruce transitioning for reality TV. What I like about Bruce is that Bruce is, he's a credible person, and he's serious about this, and he's respectful, and I think that this is terrific for people who are curious about transitioning, or those of us who are curious about people who are transitioning. So good luck, Bruce, and we'll be watching. Yeah. I mean, so that was another big hot topic of the weekend. Then the other one was Sherri Shepherd being accused of abandoning her child. Sherri. We tried to call her, by the way. Sherri, you were smart for not answering. When you see hot topics show up on your caller ID, just don't answer the phone. Even though that would be great for our business, right? But Sherri's a friend to the show. I must do this story. So first of all, I love Inside Edition. Next to People Magazine, that is one of my long time, like if you see it on Hot Topics, you know to believe it. But if you see it on Inside Edition with Deborah Norville, you know Deborah's going to give you a very accurate portrayal of everything going down. I love that show. Anyway, so it's Inside Edition. It's Friday afternoon, and I'm watching. And I'm like, what? Now remember, Sherri and her ex, Lamar, hired a surrogate to carry their baby. Now, we didn't know anything about the surrogate, but we found out on Inside Edition with Deborah Norville. Once she and Lamar got married, then the marriage started getting shaky. Sherri allegedly refused to claim the baby. And now the surrogate is speaking out for the first time on Inside Edition with Deborah Norville. Take a look, and then we'll talk.
Because there was no other mother at the birth, Jessica's name was put on the birth certificate, which has landed her in a world of legal problems.
I do get medical bills for LJ. I am now listed as a non-custodial parent in California. I have a child support case coming against me now. Being a parent myself, I just could not believe this was happening. How could you just give up on a human being that you decided in a contract you signed to do that? Like, this is your child.
Well, so this woman, I think she has 2 children. She lives in the Pennsylvania area. She works in Philadelphia as a stenographer or something like that. I know they don't use that word anymore, but a data entry person. That's what she is, data entry. Okay, so they used Lamar's sperm, and they got the lady egg from a woman who fit their needs. They wanted somebody smart and athletic and black. So they used the stranger lady's egg and Lamar's sperm, and they put it into the carrier, who's the white lady. Well, Sherri, I guess at this point, doesn't want anything to do with the child, you know, because she's fighting with Lamar, which, you know, is kind of displaced aggression on an innocent child. Lamar is living in what looks like a one-bedroom walk-up. I saw that over on Entertainment Tonight. They showed him inside of his house. He's on allegedly public assistance to take care of LJ. They're calling Lamar Jr. LJ. You know, I have no idea whether he's working or whether he's unemployed. We know Sherri is not at The View. Every once in a while, I do hear her riding into work. She's on the Tom Joyner morning show sometimes. But that's not what she's used to making coming from The View. If there could be any sunshine in all this, Sherri, the best thing that could happen is that you're no longer on The View. Because people be asking you questions all the time, and then the cameras will be waiting outside the View entrance all the time, you know, waiting for her. You know, the unfortunate thing is now you can't do any stand-up until you rectify this situation, because before you can tell one joke, people think that the joke will be on you because you just left an innocent child to the side. And I talked to one of my girlfriends over the weekend, and she said, well, Wendy, if I'm Sherri and I'm unemployed and can't stand Lamar, and this baby has nothing to do with any of my seatage or loinage, but Wendy, I don't want to say what I'm going to do. She goes, on account of I'm a Christian. But I would imagine that there are some people that would just leave this baby and, you know, to this. Can I ask, are there any of you here in the audience who feel as though Sherri just needs to be done with it? Clap. Be honest. Get him! No, speak your truth when you come here to the show. I don't think that Sherri's gonna have a peaceful night of sleep until she takes care of. She doesn't have to arrange visitation if she doesn't want to, but she at least needs to send this woman money to take care of that baby and her obligations. You know, when there's so much information that happens on a Friday, it's very difficult for me to enjoy my weekends because I so badly want to get to you and talk to you. And it's times like that that I wish that I was really actively talking to you on my Facebook instead of talking to Tristan, who talks to you. But talking on like this, it's not emotion. You know, all you get are flat words. So it's hard for me to wait until Monday. But another shocking scandal over the weekend, Suge Knight, the former hip-hop mogul, arrested for murder. Oh my gosh. Well, he allegedly plowed over two men with his truck. A red 450, 2 tons. Killed one of them by crushing his skull. Apparently, there was a fight in the parking lot. All right, I'll take you back to the beginning of this. So they're shooting the NWA movie. You know the legendary rap group NWA, the start of Ice Cube, Eazy-E, and Dr. Dre out West Coast. So they're shooting that movie. Suge Knight shows up at the set. He tells people, you know, security and everybody there, that he's there because he was summoned by Dr. Dre to mend their ways, because allegedly Dr. Dre Suge ripped Dr. Dre off for millions back in the day. But now Dre has recovered. You know, he's a billionaire thanks to Beats by Dre and some great investments. He wins. So Suge shows up to the set looking for Dre. Dre had already gone home for the day. Dre had never called him over there, says Dre. And I'm thinking in my mind, why would Dre even care about making up with Suge? Like I like Suge, but Suge is so there compared to what Dre is doing up here. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like why even entertain that? So Dre said that he didn't do it. Dre went home. Ice Cube was already gone from the set, and the set was, you know, anyway, disbanded pretty much. So Suge decides that he wants to do the confrontation with somebody else in the movie at Tam's Burgers. Now, if you're like me, before you can go on with the story, you're like, No, what is a Tam's Burger? So I get on the Googler and I find out Tam's Burgers is in Compton, right? And they're known for their pastrami chili cheese fries. Doesn't that sound delish? Anyway, so he goes over to Tam's for the big confrontation. So the beef started in the parking lot, and it's being alleged by Suge and his attorneys that he didn't start this, that 4 guys actually showed up out of nowhere and were trying to get at Suge. But Suge's in his car. Suge's friend that he showed up with, Carter, was behind his truck, behind the truck, having an argument with somebody at around the location of the tailpipe. Well, Suge gets nervous, throws the car or the truck in reverse, ran over his friend, puts the car back in drive, allegedly ran back over the friend, crushed the skull, and that's that. So that's where the murder part comes. Somebody else was hurt there too, but they're an actor who's going to be okay. Now, the question is, was the murder involved surrounded by a self-defense situation because they really were trying to jump Suge and do harm to him? Or was Suge just being the legendary bully that he's more known to be than not? It's hard to say what. I mean, it'll all come out in the wash, although usually when Suge is involved, he ends up getting off. I don't know how that works. Remember, he was just shot 6 times like a month ago at Chris Brown's party. That wasn't the first time of him getting shot. Remember, he was grazed in the head the night that Tupac was killed. Suge was in the car. He was the wheelman. And a whole bunch of other things. I don't know, but I find this story really fascinating, and I'm definitely going to watch it. And I'll watch it for you and continue to report. Sidebar, Kelly Ripa, thank you so much for the flowers and the balloons. Yeah, for our 1000th show on Friday, and also Oak Ridge Boys. Thank you so much. They sent me a giant you know I'm old school, I love a telegram. They sent me a gigantic telegram saying congratulations on the 1000th show. So thank you, Oak Ridge Boys. Thank you very much. Iggy Azalea is not the only celebrity known for responding to her haters on Twitter, but it always bothers me when celebrities do stuff like that, because in the bigger scheme of hatation, you know, if they're trying to come for you in some weird way, that means that you win, Iggy. And all the haters and internet trolls can do is just leave you with a bad taste in your mouth, feeling either fat or, you know, less than. You know how some of you are when you try to jump down celebrities. You know exactly who you are. Anyway, so now Iggy's boss, T.I., is telling her, stay off social media. It's about time. He wants her to stay off social media. Reportedly, you know, she spends a lot of time focusing on and responding to the negative comments. It's funny because that is just human nature, you know. You can read 25 great things about yourself. It'll be that one negative thing that just turns your day out. So the important thing is that you can't read the comments, but also even if you read the comments, you can't respond. You can't let them know that you care, Iggy. And that goes for the rest of you celebrities too. I mean, and these days, you know, it's not just, you know, regular people that have beef with celebrities. You know, celebrities come for one another. Like Snoop came for Iggy and called her one of the white chicks, you know, from the movie White Chicks. It wasn't meant to be something flattering to say. Then Nicki Minaj called her overrated and untalented. And then Nicki got back on social media with that. And then Jill Scott and Eve, I know, that's very random. Because Jill Scott is like from a different era and a different kind of music. And so for some reason, when you think of girls that do earthy music, you just never picture them being mean. But Jill Scott and Eve called her faking a black accent. There's some, do I fake a white accent? What is that, faking a black accent? A black accent? No, I say that rhetorically. I say that rhetorically because growing up in Ocean Township, the 4 black kids that I was in school with used to call me white girl and say, you know, why do you talk like a white girl? So ridiculous. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that ignorance means. All I'm saying is, Iggy, don't just not pay attention to the regular civilians who might dish you on social media, but don't pay attention to your fellow celebrities, because right now, and I love Jill Scott, but Jill wishes that her star at this particular point in her career, was shining like yours. And so good luck. I won't say the same thing about Eve, because while there's no rap music going on, remember, she did marry that billionaire. So she does win. She is winning. Well, Justin Timberlake finally confirmed what we already knew. Jessica Biel is pregnant. It's our, yeah. It's really cute the way he did it. It's our hot shot of the day, and it's brought to you by Xenadrin. Hit it. Babies don't save marriages, but they certainly do give you new hope. You know what I'm saying? Remember before you had your children, your first one or whatever, how nesting around the house and you'd whistle while you work and you know, skip to the mailbox. Babies are great. Congratulations, Justin and Jessica.